Hi students, welcome to this video session. My name is Samuel Chukwu Emeka, aka Sam Don for Peace, as usual. In this video session, we shall continue our study of permutations and combinations. We have done fundamental counting principle, then we did permutations, then we did combinations. In this video, we shall do, both permutations and combinations. We shall solve the math. Okay. What I mean by solving the math is that not math, but math. What I mean by solving the mathematics is that we shall use formulas and a calculator. I'm using a simple calculator here, Casio. Yeah, but this is part one. In part two, we shall use the calculator on the computer to solve these problems. In this part one, we shall simplify it. I will show you how you can simplify it if you're just using an ordinary calculator to solve it, or if your professor requires that you show your work. When your professor requires you show your work, you cannot just come in and put in, like if you want to do 3 permutation 2, 3 perm 2, you just put it in your calculator and then you just write the answer. If your professor or instructor requires that you show your work, then I'm going to explain it so that you show your work. And then we shall look at some from question 21 to 25. We shall solve it too. I will give you some formulas in this video that is going to help you throughout the video series on this. This is a video playlist. Video playlist on combinatorics. It's on my website. Combinatorics is a video playlist. It will be great if you view the video in the order it was arranged. Okay, you view it to get a good understanding of this. So we shall begin, and we are going to use this calculator, but we shall show our work, and you see how it works. In part 2, we will use the calculator on the computer. Now, some of you have this on your calculator. If you have a TI 83, TI 84, TI 84 plus, you kind of, or some other calculators, some other scientific calculators, you probably have this NPR. Okay, some folks have it like this, or some folks have it as NCOM-R. NPAM-R, NCOM-R. Now with TI 84 and TI 84 plus, you first of all have to press the math function. You press the math function, and then when you do that, you keep going until you see a probability, PROB, probability. And when you see probability, then you keep going down until you will see factorials. You see factorials, then you see NPAM-R, and you see NCOM-R. And all you need to do is, if you want to find something like, if you want to find maybe 4COM1, okay, all you need to do is you press 4, you press NCOM-R, and then you press 1, and it gives you the answer. Now, calculators are different, so some of you might need to use second function before you do this. It all depends on how your calculator is. Okay, some will need second function, some will need shift. Sometimes you might need second function, and sometimes you might need a shift in order to do it. So, but I will show you the way you can solve these questions with just a minimal input of calculators. Okay, in part 2, we use the calculator, on your machine. Okay. Now, let's begin. I'm going to write out the formulas kind of here so that it will be, you know, we have 25 problems to solve. So let me just write out the formula here. When we talk of factorial, okay, when we talk, you can take down these formulas. We did it previously in the previous videos prior to this, but let us recall these formulas. If I have n factorial, this means n times, and I'm using this as my times, asterisk, n times n minus 1 times n minus 2, okay, times, you know, up to times 1, okay, n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 times up to that times 1. If you have, you know, if you have 7 factorial, it is 7 times 7 minus 1 is 6 times 7 minus 2 is 5, up to you do it times 1. Number 2, and these formulas we will still list more. As we solve more problems, we may need to list, I might need to give you more formulas. So you just take note of it. You take note of it. N palm R, you can see it this way, or you can see it this way, N palm R. Okay, you might see it as N superscript P, then R subscript. Or you see, some textbooks will write it as N subscript P, then R subscript. Or some textbooks will write it as P parenthesis N comma R. Now this is N factorial over N minus R factorial. N factorial over N minus R factorial. So that is N palm R. Then N com R, I call it, some of you might say, what is this guy saying? I call it palm and comb. Palm and comb. That's what I call it, palm and comb. That's what Mr. C calls it, palm and comb. Now, N com R, you can see it as N com R, or you see it as N com R, or you see it as this, C N R. Okay? This will be N factorial over N minus R factorial, R factorial. So you can take this down. 3 formulas so far. I will give you more as we solve more questions. Okay, let's get started. Number 1 is 7 factorial. So like you see, N factorial. So N is 7. So 7 times N minus 1. 7 minus 1, 6. Times N minus 2. 7 minus 2, 5. Times N minus 3 times N minus 4 times N minus 5 times N minus 6. Okay, like that, it goes like that. So you now see up to times 1. So this is times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. That is what it is. Okay, if you are required to show your work. 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. 5,040. That's it. Number 2, 6 factorial, of course. 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. I can just divide this one by 7, just like that. 720, because this is like dividing it by 7. Since I multiply by 7 to get 7 factorial. Okay, what does this tell you now, folks? I'm going to give you another formula now. Formula 4. Formula number 4. Formula number 4. We see that 6 factorial times 7 will give us 7 factorial. Because if we look at it, look. If we look at this, we see that 720, because we did 5,040, right? And I just divided by 7 to give me 720. So what did I do? I did this is a 7 factorial. 7 factorial divided by 7 gave me 6 factorial. Do you see what I just did now? 7 factorial divided by 7 gave me 6 factorial. So folks, what is the formula I'm going to give you now? And you can now say that this 7 factorial is 7 times 6 factorial. Okay, I'm using the asterisk as times. So what can you say from here? Look, formula number 4. Okay, formula number 4. N factorial over n is equal to n minus 1 factorial. So what does it tell you? That n factorial is equal to n times n minus 1 factorial. And it continues like that. You know, you can, n factorial is equal to n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 factorial. Okay? N factorial is equal to n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 times n minus 3 factorial. So you see, so take down that formula, which I can find a place to, yeah, which I write it here, formula number 4. That n factorial, formula number 4, n factorial is equal to n times n minus 1 factorial. And it continues, n factorial is equal to n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 times n minus 3 times n minus 4 factorial. Okay. Okay. Let's do question 3. Question 3, we have 11 factorial over 2 factorial times 2 factorial times 2 factorial. Okay, look up. We know that 11 factorial is 11 times 10 times 9 up to times 1. We're not going to write up to that. We're going to stop at 2 factorial. We will. And this is a mistake that some students make. 2 factorial times 2 factorial is not equal to 4 factorial. Don't try it. 2 factorial is 2 times 1 times 2 times 1. 2 times 1, 2 times 1 times 2 times 1 is not equal to 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. It is not equal to that. Okay? So I notice I use dots. I can use asterisk or dot for my multiplication. Okay? So I notice I use dots for my question 1 and 2. Yeah. So if you see dot or asterisk, just know it's multiplication. So 4, because this is 4. 4 is not equal to 24. So take note of that. Don't come here and be tempted to do 4 factorial. No. Or you do 2 times 2, 4 times 2, 8 factorial. No. If you do that, you've messed up. So how are you going to solve this now? You come, we just write 11 times 10, I'm using this means multiplication, okay? Times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 factorial. Stop at 2 factorial, okay? So that we can cross out. All over 2 factorial times, you can just write 2 factorial times 2 factorial. This is the first step. So we cross out this. Let me use this marker to be crossing out. Bam, bam. That's gone. So what do we have now? 11 times 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 all over, let me now expand this, 2 times 1 times 2 times 1. I see that 2 times 2 is 4. All I need to do, bam, bam, that's it. So what do I have remaining? 11 times 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 3. So you come, use your calculator, 11 times 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 3. And that gives you 4989600. Okay, 4,989,600. That is what you do. And you can verify all this with your calculator. You can do this with TI-83 or TI-84. You can. Alright, that is number 3. We do number 4. Number 4, we have 9 factorial over 3 factorial, 2 factorial, 2 factorial. So this the highest denominator here is 3 factorial. So we just stop, when we do this, we stop at 3 factorial so that it will cross out. So this is 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 factorial all over 3 factorial times, we can expand this right away, 2 times 1 times 2 times 1. Okay, we stopped at 3 factorial because it's greater than 2 factorial. So we can easily cross out, bam, bam, that's gone. 2 times 2 is 4, so we do bam, bam, that's gone. So what we got now? So we have 9 times 8, 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5, right? And that gives us 15120. Okay? 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5. Yeah. 15120. That becomes our answer here. Okay? See that? Question 4. It's pretty straightforward, right? Now let's do question 5. Now question 5 is permutation of 7 palm 4. This is 7 palm 4. Permutation of 7 items taking 4 items at a time. That is what it means. Permutation of 7 items taking 4 items at a time. Permutation of n items taking r items at a time. That is the way we say it. So 7 palm 4. This will be 7 factorial over 7 minus 4 factorial from the formula that I gave you. Okay? So this will be 7 factorial over 3 factorial. So this will be 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 factorial all over 3 factorial. You stop at 3 factorial. Okay? So we now have 3 factorial. Bam, bam. That's gone. We now have 7 times 6 times 20. 5 times 4, 20. 840. So this is 840. 840. That's it. Okay? 7 palm 4. The next one, question 6, is 30 palm 3. 30 palm 3 is what? 30 factorial over 30 minus 3 factorial. right? So what we got now? We have 30 factorial over 27 factorial. So what we have, 30 times, what do we have to start? Where do we start? We stop at 27 factorial. Okay, 30 times 29 times 28 times 27 factorial all over 27 factorial. We now do bam, bam. So we now have 30 times 29 times 28. And that gives us what? 24360. 24360. Okay? We are moving on. Question 7. Question 7. This one is now combination 30 come 3. 30 come 3. 30 come 3. 30 combination 3. 30 come 3. So this is what? 30 factorial over 30 minus 3 factorial, 3 factorial. Okay? Remember the formula. N minus R factorial, R factorial. So this will give us what? 30 factorial over 27 factorial times 3 factorial. So this will give us what? 30 times 29 times 28 times 27 factorial over 27 factorial times 3 factorial. So we now have bam, bam, that goes. So we now expand this. This is 30 times 29 times 28 over 3 times 2 times 1. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 divided 30 is 5. So we can just say 6 divided 30 and we write 5 here. So this will be what? 5 times 29 times 28. 5 times 29 times 28. And that gives us what? 5 times 29 times 28. That gives us 4,060. 4,060. Okay, let's see whether we can find another formula. Okay, let's see whether we can find formula 5. So let me kind of, because I need space. So let me, from here, erase. Now the question is evaluate. So let's see whether we can find another formula here. Can you divide this by this? Divide 24,360 divided by 4,060. So that gives us 6. Gives us 6. So do you agree with me now that if you do and that's 6. That 6 is 3 factorial. Remember? Okay, so let me write this here. Let me kind of write this here. We know that 22,4,360 divided by 4,060 gives us 6. Gives us 6. Okay? So that means that 2,4,360 divided by 4,060 is equal to 3 factorial. Because the 3 factorial is 6. So that tells you that 3 factorial times 4,060 is equal to 2,4,360. So that tells you that arrow factorial, now this means 3 factorial times 30 come 3. Okay, 30 come 3 will give you what? 30 palm 3. Okay? 3 factorial times 30 palm 3 will give you 30 palm 3. So what formula do I now want to write? Folks, look up, please. So the formula I would like to write now is this. That r factorial times n com r will give you n palm r. That's the fifth formula I want to write. That n palm r is equal to n com r times r factorial. Formula 5. Okay, n palm r is equal to n com r times r factorial. Just know that. Or you can say n com r equal to n palm r divided by r factorial. If you want, we can also write that. We can also write that. Just an extension from 5. If we say 6 here, you can say also that n com r is equal to n palm r over r factorial. Okay? You can write that as number 6. Right? So keep building up formulas. Keep building it up. Keep writing it. Keep taking it down. Keep jotting it. Keep noting it. Question 8 is what? 21 come 12. 21 come 12. 21 come 12 is what? This is 21 factorial over 21 minus 12 factorial, then 12 factorial. Right? So we now have what? 21 factorial over, this gives us what? 9 factorial, 12 factorial. So who is more here? Who is more? Is it 9 or 12? 12 is more, right? Because we want to know where we can start. We want to know where we can start. That's what we want to know. Where can we start? So let's start, we'll stop at 12. Okay? 21 minus 12 is 9. So 9 factorial, 12 factorial. So this is 21 times 20 times 19 times 18 times 17 times 16 times 15 times 14 times 13 times 12 factorial. Stop at 12, don't stop at 9 because 12 is bigger. Times 12 factorial. All over 9 factorial times 12 factorial. So folks, what do we do? Bam, bam. That goes. So we now have what? 21 times 20 times 19 times 18 times 17 times 16 times 15 times 14 times 13. Okay? All over 9. 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 4 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 times 10 7 times 6 5 4 3 2 1. Okay. I think you're conducting a symphony orchestra. All right, folks. You know, let's add some fun to mathematics so that you don't just stay like this. You do like this. Show me your teeth. Show me your teeth. Okay. Now let's see what can, you know. Let's cross out right away. 9 times 8 is 72, no. 9 times 7 is 63, no. 9 times 6 is 54, no. 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 3 is 27. So 9 times 2 is 18. We can just do bam, bam, bam. That goes. 8 times 3 is 24. Okay. 7 times 3 is 21. So bam, bam, bam. kind of make it easier for us, you know. 8 times 4, 32, no. 6 times 4 is 24, so 5 times 4, 20, okay. So what we got now, we have 8, 6, okay. So what do we do now? We can do 8 into 8 is 1, 8 into 16 is 2, and then we can also have 2 into 2 is 1, then 2 into 6 is 3, then 3 into 3 is 1, and 3 into 15 is 5. So now, just take it carefully. Everybody here is gone. So you just take it carefully. What do you have remaining? You now have 19 times 17 times 5 times 14 times 13. Okay? 19 times 17 times 5 times 14 times 13. 19 times 17 times 5 times 14 times 13. Okay, so we now have 293,930. Okay? 293,930. 293,930. That's it. That's for 8. And since we're going to use it again, so it's better I keep it. I just have to keep it 293,930. 8, 21 from 12 is 293,930. There you go. Okay, I hope you understood it. Now let's do question 9. 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 Question 9 says 16 did I say pound? Come on now, Mr. C. 21 come 12 is 293,930. Now this combination, please, I'm sorry if I said pound. 16 come 12 times 5 come 2. Alright folks, look up. 16 come 12 times 5 come 2. So, what would this give us now? 16 come 12 is what? 16 factorial over 16 minus 12 factorial, 12 factorial. Okay? Times 5 factorial over 5 minus 2 factorial, 2 factorial. So this is 16 factorial over 4 factorial, 12 factorial. I'm just showing all my work. Okay, I'm showing my work. Now, even if you don't put a times here, it's still times. Even if you don't put a step, the multiplication here, it is. If you have 4 factorial, 12 factorial, it means 4 factorial times 12 factorial. Times 5 factorial over 3 factorial, 2 factorial. So this will be, I'll have to stop at 12 here, and I'll have to stop at 3 here. So this is 16 times 15 times 14 times 13 times 12 factorial over 4 factorial times 12 factorial, then times 5 times 4 times 3 factorial over 3 factorial times 2 factorial. Okay, so I do bam, bam, and then I do here bam, bam. So let me now expand it and I can start crossing out right away. So what do I have now? I have to finish it here. 16 times 15 times 14 times 13 over 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Right? Then times 5 times 4 over 2 times 1. And you know this is multiplication. So anybody can cross out anybody. Okay? Any denominator can cross out any numerator. Any numerator can cross out any denominator. 4 times 3, 12. I didn't see 12 here. 4 times 2, 8. I didn't see 8 too. Okay. Now I can do 2 times 2, 4. And 4 times 4, 16. So I can do 2 times 2, 4 times 4, 16 is gone. And I just do 3 into 3 is 1. 3 into 15 is 5. Okay? So this will be 5 times 14 times 13 times 5 times 4. And that gives me what? 5 times 14 is 70 times 13 times 20. 5 times 14 times 13 times 5 times 4. Okay, so I have 18200. I'll do it again. 5 times 14 times 13 times 5. And you can always check this with your with the calculator you have. You know, if you have NCOM-R, just to check it, not to serve as a cheat sheet, but just to check it. Okay, that's question 9. Now let's do question 10. Question 10, we've already found 21,12. So let's just go ahead and find 9,2. Okay, and multiply it. Yeah, so let's do question 10. So question 10, you have 21,12 times 9,2. We already found this one. So this is 293,930 times 9,2 is 9 factorial over 9 minus 2 factorial, 2 factorial. So this is 293,930 times 9 factorial over 7 factorial, 2 factorial. Okay? So this is 293,930. Or you can just skip this. Later on you bring it out. This is 9 times 8 times 7 factorial over 7 factorial times 2 factorial is 2 times 1. Okay? As you solve more problems, you can, you know, you don't need to write out all these. No. As you solve more problems, you shorten your steps. You can shorten your steps. Okay, 7 cross out that. So 2 into 2 is 1. 2 into 8 is 4. 2 into 8 is 4. So you now have 293,930 times 9 times 4. Okay? Yeah. 293,930 times 9 times 4. So what does it give us now? 293,930 times 36. So it gives us 105,814,80. 105,814,80. Yeah. Okay. 10,581,480. That's what it gives us. For question 10. Next one is what? Question 11. Okay? Question what? 11. Let's write, you know what, because we might get something from here. Let's write what this gave us, what question 10 gave us. Question 10 gave us, well, I have it here, so I can easily pull it up from my calculator. This calculator stores, you know, you can kind of see like about 3 or 4 computations you did last. It's stored, I mean, you can kind of see. Question 11, because we might kind of have another formula now. 21,2 times 19, 12. Okay, let's look at this. This is 21 factorial over 21 minus 2 factorial, times 19 factorial over 19 minus 12 factorial, 12 factorial. So this is 21 factorial over 19 factorial, 2 factorial. 21 minus 2 is 19. Then times 19 factorial over 7 factorial, 12 factorial. Okay, folks, look at this for instance. Before we even begin writing out this, we can easily see that 19 factorial can cross out right away, because this is a multiplication of fractions. Multiplication of fractions. So what do we have now? We can now stop at 12. Okay, so 21 times 20 times 19. You could do that because this is multiplying fractions. Times 18 times 17 times 16 times 15 times 14 times 13 times 12 factorial all over. Let's expand this right away. Okay, 2 times 1 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 times 12 factorial. Okay, we can go ahead and cross out this. That's gone. 7 times 6, 42, no, 7 times 5, 35, 7 times 4, 28, 7 times 3, 21, 7 times 3, 21, that's gone. 5 times 4 is 20, 5 times 4, 20, that's gone. I have 6 times 2, 12 times 2, 24, no. So I have only 2, 6, 2. Now 2 times 2 is 4. 6 times 2, 12. Okay. 6 times 4, 24. So I can just do this. I can do 6 and 18 to go. 6, 18 will be 3. And then 2 and 2 to cross out 16 to give me 4. 2, 2 is 4. Cross out 16 gives 4. 4 divided 16 is 4. Okay, so what do I have now? 19 times 3 times 17 times 4 times 15 times 14 times 13. So I'll now have what? 19 times 3 times 17 times 4 times 15 times 14 times 13. Okay, it gives me the same thing. 105,814,80. Just like what we got the previous one. So can we see, you know, we have to look at something now. We gotta look at something now so that we can derive a formula. Okay? He gave us the same thing. So let's see what we can do. I'm gonna look from this now. Because I'm gonna think about this. Let's verify this so we can have a formula. We can see whether we can come up with another formula. Assuming we do, let's do 21 come 12, and also let's do 21 come 9. 21 come 12, which we've done. Now let's do 21 come 9 also. Okay? Now this is 21, 12, 9, 2. This is 21, 2, 19, 12. Yeah, this is different anyway. This is different. This is different. But I want to give you another formula that I thought about. Okay, I just thought about this. So I want to give you another formula that I just thought about. We have done 21 come 12, and that gives us 293930. Okay? But that is different from 10 and 11. Now let's do 21 come 9. Okay? What will it give us? This is 21 factorial over 21 minus 9 factorial, 9 factorial. So this is 21 factorial over 12 factorial, 9 factorial. You see this? It's going to give us the same thing though, because you know this one is what? 21 factorial over 21 minus 12 factorial, then 12 factorial. So this is 21 factorial over 9 factorial, 12 factorial. So you see that this and this is the same thing. 21 factorial over 9 factorial, 12 factorial. And this is 21 factorial over 12 factorial, 9 factorial. So what is the formula that we need, that I'm trying to give you now? That if you have 21C12 is still the same as 21C9. 21 come 12 is the same as 21 come 9. So that means that n come, because this means 21 come 12 equal to 21 come 21 minus 12. See that? Because 9 is 12, 9 is 21 minus 12. Okay? So 21 come 12 is the same as 21 come 21 minus 12. So this means the next formula I'm going to give you now is that this now implies that n come r is equal to n come n minus r. N minus r. That's the next formula that I want you to take note of. Okay? This is, I'll write it here. I'm going to write it here. Formula number 7. Formula number 7. Formula number 7. N come r is equal to n come r is equal to n come n minus r. Okay? Take it down. Alright? Now, let's continue. Question 12. Question 12. This is 9 factorial over 3 factorial, 4 factorial, 2 factorial. So what will this give us? This is 9 times, we stop at 4. 8 times, 7 times, 6 times, 5 times 4 factorial. All over 3 factorial. Let's go ahead and write it. 3 times 2 times 1. Then times 4 factorial times 2 times 1. Okay, so this goes. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 2 is 6. Then 2 into 2 is 1. 2 into 8 is 4. 4. Okay? So we now have 9 times 4 times 7 times 5. Right? 9 times 4 times 7 times 5. 9 times 4 times 7 times 5. So this is 1260. 1260. That's the answer. Question 13. I'm hoping that this video will not be long, but it might be because this is 25 problems. This is 12 factorial over 4 factorial, 4 factorial, 4 factorial. So this is 12 times 11 times 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 factorial all over 4 factorial times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So bam, bam, that goes. 4 and 3 is 12. 4, 3 is 12, goes. 2, 4 is 8. 2, 4 is 8. And 3, 2 is 6. Bam, bam. So what do we have now remaining? 11 times 10 times 9 times 7 times 5. 11, 10, 9, 7, 5. So what do we have now? 11 times 10 times 9 times 7 times 5. And that will give us 3, 4, 11, 10, 9, 7, 5. 3, 4, 650. 3, 4, 650. Okay? Getting it? Don't worry, we'll soon be, we're getting there. Question 14. We are getting there. We are getting there. Question 14, we have 15 factorial over 7 factorial, 6 factorial, 2 factorial. So this is, we stop at 7 because that's the highest. 15 times 14 times 13 times 12. Please, I forgot to mention this. You need, kind of, you do it, you pause the video, you try it. You pause the video, you try it, and then you check your our work. You check your work to see whether we got it right. I hope I got it right, so I won't have to come and start fixing any mistake I made. Okay, this is 15 times 14 times 13 times 12 times 11 times 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 factorial. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7 factorial. Over 7 factorial times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2. We can just keep 1, okay? Times 2. Times 1, but times 1 will still give us that. So we can just keep 1. So this, bam, bam, that goes. 5 and 3, 15. 5, 3 is 15. Goes. 4, 2 is 8. 4, 2 is 8. Goes. 6, 2 is 12. Okay? 6, 2 is 12. Goes. So we have 14 times 13 times 14, 13, 11, 10, 9. Okay? 14, 13, 11, 10, 9. Which gives us what? 14 times 13 times 11 times 10 times 9. It gives us 180, 180. 180, 180. Okay? That's 14. 15. Let's erase all this.